Hey guys, welcome back to Topher Drives, where today we are filming a very special episode of Comfort Mode. I'm not going to say what episode this is because I don't know in what order I'm going to post these next couple of videos, but it is special because today we're driving my personal 2006 Porsche Cayman S. This is the holy grail of sports cars to me. I've wanted one of these since I was about 11 years old, and just 3 years ago I was able to finally make that happen for myself in my most ideal spec ever. Guards red over natural brown interior, and it's the best car I've ever owned. It's my favorite car I've ever owned, of course, and I'm really excited to take you guys out for just a little bit of a golden hour sunset drive today in my favorite car. So today we're going to talk about what got me into cars and how I've kind of stuck with it my entire life, and I don't know, maybe some advice. I'm not very good at advice, so you don't have to listen to it if you don't want to. You can just enjoy the sights and the sounds of the 987 Cayman S. So, well, why don't we just go ahead and get started? I don't want to miss golden hour. I hope you all liked my artsy montage before we started our drive today. 38 seconds. No, you're starting right now. 35,896 miles. We need to level that up to 36 pretty soon. We need to start driving this thing more. Alright, let's turn the vent down slightly and we'll get started. Talk a little bit about this car first, and then we'll get into some more about me and cars and whatnot. Gotta love the harmonics of a Porsche. So this 2006 Porsche Cayman S is powered by a 3.4 liter flat six that makes just around 300 horsepower. This one allegedly has some sort of a Softronic flash tune on it that should bump power up to the low threes. As you can see over here, somebody has gotten got, which is always my biggest fear along this route. Look at that sky. Ha! You do have to be careful out here because they do still pull people over. And they do it right from this building. There's always some cop cars sitting out front here. Anyways, though, I've owned this Cayman S, like I said, for just about 3 years. I bought it in August of 2019, and I bought it with about 32,000 miles on it, so I really only put, 3,000 miles on this car in 3 years. And most of that was when I had this car up at college, and I actually daily drove it for about 3 months, from August to October. So that's where most of the miles have come from. Anyways, let's talk about cars. Let's talk about life. I hope everyone's having a great morning, evening, middle of the night, day, whenever you're watching this. I hope you're able to chill out with me and just kind of come along for the ride. Take a look at this beautiful pink sky and feel the vibes. The radio is off and we are going full Porsche mode. But, I mean, there's a really simple answer to this question. How did I get into cars? And the two-word answer to that question is my grandpa. When I was really little, growing up, I would stay at my grandpa's house 2 days a week, and there was this place right down the street from his house here in Ypsilanti, Michigan, called R&M, which stood for Rob Meyer, the owner of the company. And you're probably familiar, RM Sotheby's, they're still a very well-known brand, but this was back in the early 2000s, right around 2001, 2002. They had a showroom here in Ypsilanti where they would park pre-auction cars, post-auction cars, just kind of client cars in general that people would consign them to just have in their showroom. And I apologize for the road noise, by the way. I did not realize how loud this road has gotten recently. You just have to bear with it. I do apologize. I'll try and speak up a little bit. But anyways, we would go to this car showroom, and when I tell you guys, they had some of the craziest cars in this showroom. Things like Jaguar XJ220s, classic, custom old cars, every 60s Ferrari, 70s Ferrari you can imagine, race cars like spec Lamborghini Diablos, and just crazy stuff. And, as a very vulnerable little 3-4-year-old, I took all this in, and I loved it. It was art to me, and I wanted nothing to do with anything else but cars. So I really owe everything to my grandpa when it comes to why I'm so passionate about cars. And I mean, that's just what started it all. Being around those cars, I mean, I probably went to that showroom, twice a week for the first 6, 7, 8 years of my life. I have to go defrost here, folks. Blow some of this steam off the windshield. Apologize for the vent. Also, hidden feature on the 987 Cayman S. When you put the defrost on, it blows out a bunch of foam from behind the dashboard. Really key feature there. Oh dear. Okay, let's turn this down to low and get some AC going. I always love when these videos are just all over the place. No rhyme or reason to anything. Starting to get out into some twisties out here, so I'll be able to do some driving. That makes a good noise. God, I love this car. I just drove this road earlier today in the new 2022 Porsche Cayman S, and I had a blast. And I'm having just as much of a blast in this car that's 16 years old at this point. So anyways, that showroom ended up closing around 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. RM is a Canadian company, and they just wanted to have all of their showrooms and everything up in Canada. So unfortunately, Michigan got shafted. Shout out to the Orange House, Orange Rogue. There it is. So that ended the RM days, but in between all of this, I was going to car shows and Cars and Coffees, and I would even go to like these super prestigious RM auction, like black tie parties, like before they'd have the actual auction. I would get invited, and my dad tells me that he used to roll me around in the stroller as like a 3 or a 4-year-old in front of groups of adults, and he would point at cars and he'd be like, all right, buddy, what kind of car is that? And I would get it right every single time. So it was like my dad's way of flexing on people is like, look at the car knowledge that my son has. So we'd go to all these black tie events, and I'd sit on Duesenbergs and Packards and all the old school, like super crazy cars that are just worth millions of dollars nowadays. But that was just my everyday life back then as a young lad. Went to tons of museums and things, and I mean, it all, like I said, it all just built upon going to RM. So I owe it all to my grandfather. In my later days, and I actually talked about this in episode 1 of Comfort Mode, I got a job, my first ever job as a 15-year-old at Gene Buttman Ford here in Ypsilanti, Michigan, as a car porter. So I moved cars around and washed cars and all of that sort of thing, greeted customers, got yelled at, told that I looked much too young to be driving cars. So all of that was sort of like traumatizing as a 16-year-old, thinking that I, wasn't serious enough to drive cars. But look at me now, all the people that told me that I wasn't old enough to drive a car. Get into the real good twisty part of the road up here. Ah, dang it, the Chevy Traverse is also turning right. We'll let him go a little bit. Sometimes you just gotta laugh, though. It's not worth getting worked up over. Look at that pink sky. It makes everything better. Sometimes the mid-engine car can get a little bit sketchy around corners because the front end just feels so light. Oh man, look at that sky. Look at the back of that Chevy Traverse. What a view, folks. What a view. I'll let him get away a little bit. In a lot of ways, I think my passion for cars as just my reason for existing. I don't really know what my life would be like if I wasn't around cars. I didn't live and breathe cars. Like it just... I don't know what my life would have been like. So, if it weren't for my grandpa taking me to that classic car showroom back as a kid, where would I be now? You guys certainly wouldn't be listening to me babble about random things while driving in POV. Yeah, we caught him pretty quick. And it all just totally comes full circle. I talked about this slightly in my Porsche Macan video that you may have already seen, or it'll get posted after this one. Excuse me there. So you may have already heard what I'm about to say, but in 2009, my Uncle Peter bought a 2008 certified pre-owned 987 Cayman S with a 6-speed manual, and being around that car is really what got me into Porsche. It sparked this love for a car that I had never really been in, or certainly had never ridden in one. I'm sure I sat in some as a 4-year-old, but going for a ride in that car really it really made me start wanting one of these. But if you go back and watch episode 1 of Comfort Mode, I go more into like how I met the TheTopher and you know, how big of an influence Tedward was over this series of Comfort Mode and everything. So go back and watch episode 1 if you have not. It's a pretty fun video. We drive a Kia Stinger GT2 something. Pretty fun car that is no longer being made, sadly. Or actually, maybe it is still being made, and this is the last model year. I'm not too sure. Oh, we're back on the loud road surface now, unfortunately. Anyways, though, the story was probably slightly all over the place. I'm definitely not cut out for like a VinWiki story time, because I'm not very good at telling stories. But Will, this video is for you, because I know that you asked what got me into cars. So that's kind of like the most basic answer that I could give. Obviously, I have like 5,000 Hot Wheels cars in my basement from when I was a kid. And of course, I still buy some now. I don't buy every single one like I used to, but now I just buy, you know, like Porsches and other sort of cars that speak to me that I want to pin up at my desk. But yeah, sometimes you just got to go out on a drive like this, in a car like this, and just chill. There's like nothing else that helps me just relax in the way that a Sunset Drive does, in a really, really good set of wheels here. I think we should talk about 987 values too. What do you say? When I bought this car, they were hovering high 20s, low 30s, and that's about where I bought this one, right around the $30,000 range back in 2019. But now, they're worth quite a bit more. Similar cars are selling high 30s to low 40s now, so they've all jumped about 10 grand in value, which is insane. I didn't really buy this car as an investment. I just bought it because I liked it, and this was really my dream car, my attainable dream car, I should say. So it's just been an added bonus. Now, of course, you can say, oh yes, well, everything has gone up in value, especially collector cars, and well, you know, the Cayman S has been no different. Even the base Caymans have gone up slightly in value. So, I don't know. I mean, everyone always gives me crap for hanging onto this car and really never driving it, but this car is more to me than just an investment. It's like my pride and joy. I've got a little piece of my grandpa here, and like, I don't know. I don't really see myself ever selling this car. I really would like this car to stick around forever and just really be part of the family. It's kind of a toxic trait that I have. I buy cars and I don't really think anything of it. I'm just like, oh, I like that car, I'm gonna buy it. And then I drive it and I bond with it, and I'm like, I can literally never sell this car. I can never sell it. This one's a little bit different just because of the circumstances. But yeah, I don't really see this one going anywhere. So I'll be hanging on to it, even though it's worth $1 bajillion now and I'm scared to drive it. But it is okay. You can hear my rear brake pads squeaking slightly. Those are probably original. I should probably get those replaced. I love the sound Porsches make at 5,000 RPM, like the, you know what I'm talking about? This is the prime time to have and deer run out in front of you, so we're gonna chill out a little bit, keep our speeds down. So anyways, thank you all for coming to my very insightful TED Talk where I told you how to follow your dreams and to follow your dreams, you know, as one does. But in all seriousness, hobbies. It doesn't even have to be cars. You could like painting or knitting or going dumpster diving or flipping things on eBay or going magnet fishing. I don't know. Having some sort of a hobby is like crucial to our well-being as humans, in my mind. Because otherwise you're just like living to die. You're like not doing anything. I don't know. Something that you can do to just relax yourself. Make it happen, man. Save up some money, go give your boss the middle finger and go do what you want to do. Not actually, that's probably a pretty bad idea. Don't listen to that advice. Slowly by the police station. Haha. We are being respectful. You know, if anything, you guys should really just be thankful that I'm not trying to sell you on any cryptocurrency. Because I am in sort of like the age group. That's bumpy. I am in the age group where like, you know, like MLM, pyramid schemes, cryptocurrency, all of that sort of thing. It's just eating my generation alive. I don't get it. You know, you always see like people talking about how, oh, everyone that I graduated high school with is getting married and having kids. Okay, well, everyone I graduated high school with is getting involved in pyramid schemes. I don't get it. I don't want to buy your soap or invest in your stupid cryptocurrency. Anyways, that will end it for us today. Let's walk around this thing while the lights maybe stayed on. I don't know if the lights stayed on or not. Oh yes, they are, because I left them on. Ha ha ha. Ah, what a beautiful night. Need to start coming out and driving this thing more. As I say at the end of every video, I love your guys' feedback. Please comment, tell me what else you want to see. Do you like seeing this car? Do you want to see more of this Cayman S? Do you want to see some of my other cars? I have like 7 at this point. It's really becoming a problem. I probably need help. But like I said, it's really what keeps me going. So if I can excuse it as a way to happiness, and you know, it isn't drugs, so I think that it's okay. Or cryptocurrency, or soap. So, well, thank you all so much for watching. It means the world to me that you guys watch my videos. This is always what I've wanted to do. So it's just really super cool that I get to do this. So thank you again for like the 4th time. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care.